Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Yes, as we kind of anticipated, we got yet another Wheel of Time drop today. The Twitter account has just been on fire, Twitter of Chaos. You are living up to the name, dropping this around like 2:30, 2:45 in the afternoon Central Time. Like 15 minutes right before I go to work. As of recording this, it is 1:30 a.m. U.S. Central Time. I just got off work about half an hour ago. Got all set up. We're going to... I've already watched this clip, so I'll watch it with you, but it's not really like a full reaction, but we'll break it down. So I'll probably watch it through all the way once, and then we'll go back and we'll break it down bit by bit. There's a lot of new, interesting stuff here, and I, for one, am super excited. So let's go ahead and jump on in.
The Wheel of Time is an epic world of fantasy and people who have extraordinary abilities and power.
Love it.
The whole world will turn to darkness.
Yes.
The stakes are incredibly high.
That's the exciting thing about the series. It gives you something emotional and intangible that feels unbelievably special.
Whew, okay. Yeah. It's good. We see a lot in this clip that we've never seen before. So, all right, let's go ahead, jump in, do a scene-by-scene breakdown, and let's see if we can see anything that we maybe missed just on the initial watch. All right, so the opening frame is, of course, a scene clapper. Not too much to glean from it, although it looks like that is Sophie Okonedo in the back. That's her dress there. This is Tarvalon for sure. I'm not even going to attempt to break down what they've got written on here, what shot, scene, block. I'll let WoTTube series handle that. They know way more about that than I do. All right, next up, we've got a shot of the Waygate, and I mean, I gotta say, like, I know there are some folks who don't necessarily love the Waygate. I personally quite like it. I get the attachment to the old design, the one in the books with the vine look and the trefoil leaf and everything. And as much as I would love to see that, this is cool. And I think if you give it a chance, you'll find it cool. Just my take. But yeah, there's not very much here that we haven't already seen, other than the fact it looks like it snowed here. And they've got shots of it. So maybe this was during the build process, because we know when the group is arriving, there's no snow on the ground. So maybe we visit it twice. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And here, finally, Shienaran Heavy Cavalry. That's just, finally, right? Like, seeing these things in motion, is just phenomenal. They've got their battle standards back there, and they're in a full charge. I'm just gonna stab and say Starwind's Gap, which I wasn't sure we were gonna get at the end of the first season, but apparently we are. So that's pretty cool. It's an iconic scene. What I do question is it gonna play out just like it did at the end of the first book? That is something I think that we really are just going to have to wait and see. But if this season plays closer to the Eye of the World than we've kind of been led to believe it does, that's going to be awesome. Okay, we get a little bit of a close-up on our Shienarans here. I'm blowing this up on my screen. It'll just be one size for you. So yeah, looking pretty cool. Not just tons to glean, because they're running right at us, so I can't even really see the battle standards. Looks like we've got some shields in the back, so maybe is that some footmen back there? It looks like, yeah. Okay, so we've got cavalry riding forth and footmen in the back with tower shields. Interesting. And they have conical caps. Interesting. But yeah, they've got these kind of bright silver steel-colored conical helmets on behind the heavy cavalry here, and I want to believe these are Shinarans, but they could be Gildanans, although the shields don't match the shield we saw in Guild from the Logain trailer the other day, so maybe they're not. We will just have to... I feel like I'm saying this a lot these days, but we gotta wait and see. And honestly, like, I know that might sound like kind of a cop-out, but really, that's exciting, right? Like, when was the last time you said to someone who's read the books, just, you'll have to read and find out? I mean, it's been 8 years, and at the longest. I'm so happy. All right, next shot is of Moraine and Alana walking through the tower halls. I see Lan off to the right here, and then we've got the Ivan and I can't remember this other warder's name over here. But yeah, I mean, it's just cool to actually see all the shots in progress too. I find that quite amazing. So one thing I'm going to note right here that I just noticed, these are male statues here in this hall. So maybe this is some hall of remembrance for warders, possibly. It's definitely an odd feature in the tower. So possibly this is an area that honors warders and sacrifices they've made. So, yeah, in the next shot, we clearly see it's a statue of a warder holding a sword. So, pretty awesome. And, of course, it's Moraine and Alana again. The focus, Lan's walking with them now. You can see some other Aes Sedai in the background. And, of course, this is behind the scenes, so camera folk and the boom mic here in shot. But even that, and even not color corrected, like this just looks awesome. I mean, the set lighting is really bright and on point, which again, I mean, I've said that I'm a big fan of this lighting. Game of Thrones ruined me on dark lighting. I mean, it was so dark in that last season, I couldn't see shit. So, oops. We get Rosamund as dressed in her Moraine costume, speaking some very nice words about how epic the Wheel of Time is and what the stakes are for the series. I mean, this is just nice. Now, this outfit, she has the shoulder pads on, but they're not ornate, I'm noticing here. And it could just be that the full costume is not assembled. So, like, what actually the ornate part of her shoulder pads could just be like another part that sits on top. Whereas the support for that is built into the dress. So... or cloak or coat or whatever it is. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. It also looks like she's not in full makeup either. So I like this window design behind her. This still leads me to believe that they're in Tarvalon. All right, and here we are at the Hall of the Tower scene, and it's very clear. We got Lyanna over here with the staff. We've got the other Aes Sedai, their various Ajas present. And yeah, so this is, looking at this, I can see the Amerlin's seat over here to the kind of right. So if we were to compare it with the trailer picture, we can figure out exactly where this is at. This looks like it's at about 4 o'clock. If you put the Amerlin's seat at noon, where we're this perspective, we're looking for about the 4 o'clock position. Which was that white Aja or yellow Aja? I don't remember, but all right, we have moved on to the next one, and we have who looks like possibly, I mean, I don't know, that could be Perrin, but at the same time, I'm not quite sure that is. That would maybe be Lila, if that is Perrin, along with these two other folks here and the two rivers. I'm not saying this is who these people are. I'm just speculating. That might not be anybody we actually know. Little boats on the water are actually interesting. It's kind of similar. I don't know if y'all have done like lantern festivals or anything like that before, but sometimes you release a paper lantern in the air, and then I've been to places where you do the tea candle on like a paper craft boat into water as well. So that's a neat little thing they're doing here. I mean, I've got no context for this scene, so finally, one of the ones I really wanted to talk about, because good God, we got the white cloaks, y'all. We got them finally in motion. Look at these dudes with their cop stashes. And man, am I just pumped about these outfits. I was a little medium on them when I saw that leaked image a long time ago. However, watching them in motion in this clip is just way better than you could have ever imagined. I love that their outfits are a mix of like clerical robes and armor. It's very much this pseudo-religious order or force that, I mean, they definitely look as if they're out to scour the land of dark friends. Interesting note, the horses have a face shield on. It's a little reminiscent of the Mirdraw horse with the skull on it, so I wonder if that's to draw a parallel. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I'm really happy with these costumes. I didn't think I would like them, and here I am, and I'm just like, this is the white cloaks to me now. This makes way more sense than them wandering around in armor all of the time. Alright, following that, we got a shot of Rand Yosha up here in Shadar Logoth, actually. That looks like one of the statues from the EW article. This is daytime shot, apparently. And then, which I think, if I remember correctly, Lauren from Unraveling the Pattern had said that he thought maybe this was that picture from the EW was a daytime shot, and color corrected it to look night through like a blue filter and stuff. So, yeah, that's interesting. Of course, if this could just be them, arriving at Shadar Logoth. I don't know if we know for sure if they get there at night or not. All right, this next still doesn't make as much sense without it being in motion, but it's Moraine doing some weaving, it appears, and I mean, I'm going to be honest, I feel like her weaving motions are a lot like bending from Avatar: The Last Airbender. She's doing some arm motions, she's in a stance. I know there are going to be some people who absolutely hate this change, and you know what? It's not like I grew up necessarily with Avatar: The Last Airbender. I was 15 when it came on, but that show appeals to me even to this day. I'm 33, and it's one of the best television shows I've ever watched. I mean, bar none. And it's definitely one of the best animated television shows that I've ever watched. So, if they're borrowing any elements from that, that's not going to be a thing for me. If it's going to be a thing for you, I'm sorry, but, for me, and I think a lot of maybe millennial fans, this will be a change that is fairly warmly received. I don't see any reason to be mad at this. Further, if they differentiate the channeling across various cultures, in the Aes Sedai have all these intricate flowing movements where you possibly learn them when learning specific weaves, and then other places don't teach that. We already saw Logain, for example. He didn't have any hand motions when he was weaving and channeling Saidin in his clip. So that's a difference already, and I hope they play that up. I hope they play up these differences in maybe even individual to individual styles of channeling, because that's awesome. And it adds kind of like that kung fu element to it, which I'm a big kung fu movie fan. All right, here we got another shot of Kareen getting yeeted into the pillar. I actually don't have very much to say on that. I've already speculated ad nauseum about it in other things. I'm more interested in the new. Here we go, a nice shot of Emmons Field. So we can see that they got the village here. It looks like the square green is right there. We've got the backdrop of the cliff face here, like we've seen in other set photos. And this actually looks like it may be post Winter Night, because it looks kind of trashed. So yeah, it's it's a cool aerial shot of Emmons Field. All right, next still is of the group at the waygate standing around in a circle. We see Rand with his quiver and Two Rivers bow. I love this. This is phenomenal. It looks like we see Egwene standing next to him with a pack. We got Lan, sword on back. Matt over here to the left, and Moraine is standing in front of them giving him a speech. So yeah, pretty awesome. And again, at the waygate, and the grass is not snow covered. So just a thing to point out. All right, following that, we're at Moraine, and she's looking at Nynaeve, and you can see Nynaeve's braid. It's a little blurry, but it's epic. And in this scene, Moraine is giving them a speech. It's better in motion, but yeah, just better look at the costumes. This looks more like a finished scene than some of the other parts. And following that, we've got Myrddraal on horseback. His horse has got the skull on. Looks pretty good. This is clearly not a production still because that light is very bright, and also, in no shade on props department here, but I can clearly tell that this is a fake skull mask on this horse right here. And again, that just speaks to the fact this is not the finished Myrddraal clip that we've seen. This is the pre-production footage of it. It's probably raw. Outside of some very minor corrections they've done. There's even a lens flare here burned into the image, so maybe they didn't even use this specific still. And it looks like, actually, as I scrub through the clip here, you never see the Myrddraal's face because that's an overlay. That's a 3D overlay render in terms of that creature, because there's no way that that's a practical costume. We've all seen that, and not with that mouth. Following that, we've got the woods, Dragonsworn, Alana. She appears to be channeling here. Lots of Dragonsworn running in. Again, this is like a production still or production clip, so there's not a lot to see here, but they're interesting to note. There is a pyrotechnic blast. We got Lan and Matt on horseback here, riding through the woods. All right, here's another shot of Moraine, and she's doing this like hand to chest and hand out thing. It looks really kung fu. She's even kind of got that inner calmness thing going on. So again, I've said I'm a fan of this stuff. I like it. I like kung fu movies. You're not going to go wrong with incorporating any. You're not going to go wrong with incorporating any kung fu references or inspirations into channeling with me. So sorry if you hate it. Sorry. To a shot of Nynaeve and Steppen, Peter Franzen, if y'all remember correctly, running through the woods here. We know it's Steppen because he has the dual half-moon axes. This is over very quickly. Then we get to the farmhouse. Now, this is theorized to be Tam, and quite honestly, I agree. I think this is Tam. I think this is the Althor farm, which we thought we weren't going to get. Although, this could be the wine spring, to be completely honest, and Tam could just be, in the back doing something. Well, then again, that right there is a saddle rest, and I don't know why you would have that next to where you're prepping food. So I'm thinking we are getting the Althor farm. Looking at this scene, I don't know why Bran Alvear would have this stuff like in a back room necessarily. So yeah, evidence for the Althor farm is mounting. If we scrub through just a little bit here, we can see that a Trolloc is busting on in, which is super spooky. You can even make out the leg in the frame here, along with the extra long hand and some horns. So that's probably a practical costume, or it's at least practical pieces they built to, like some people are like holding pieces of a puppet maybe behind there just out of frame and moving them into frame. Now we're on to Zaddy Tom. There we are. That wonderful guitar. Tom looks even better than I thought he would. No mustaches, not a big deal for me personally. He just looks too good for me to care about that. And honestly, I'm not sure there's a way they could have made the mustaches look good. They just want to hurt us really bad with all of this Rand and Egwene stuff, because I know, like, we know how this ends, and they're twisting that knife. It's already been stabbed, and now they're twisting it and laughing. Dark friends. All right, now we're here. Hashtag Braid Watch for all of my cross audience with Lesbian Nerdy, but we've got Nynaeve's braid here, whipping it back. It's just, this is probably the most popular shot from the entire thing. It's already got all sorts of memes and stuff out there about it, and I mean, rightfully so. Like Zoe Robbins as Nynaeve is perfect casting. She's definitely got the physicality of Nynaeve down, I think, and tossing that braid back is just epic. All right, after that, we've got the wine spring. This looks like Winter Night revelries here, celebrations, pre-attack, so it all looks good. I like this because you get a sense of scale of actually how big the wine spring is. It seems to be 1, 2, 3 stories. I don't know who's up in the third, but there is clearly a window there and a room that's probably attic or storage space, but you never know, with an inn, maybe you want to use as much real estate as possible. And now we've got the pool scene with Egwene here. And yeah, this is just... If we don't have the colors present, and we've got Nynaeve present, and looks like just the women's circle of Emond's Field. So probably, like everyone said, this is her wisdom training or her becoming a woman ceremony where she could braid her hair after this is completed. I like the theories that this is a holdover from Manetheren. That just makes sense to me because that ties into the epic history of the two rivers. But we see clearly that the pool does not have colors, which means they may be added post-production. Or I do see that the women all have something in their hands, at least the ones we can see, and I believe they may actually pour that into the water, and Egwene will go down and then come back up. That could be the proper sequence of events for that. But I'm not 100% sure. What's weird is the women are all wearing different colors. We've got like a lady in a green skirt, then there's like a burgundy overcoat over here, then we've got a lady in blue, and then Nin's dress, I guess, could be considered yellow from a certain point of view. So yeah, it's crazy to think that perhaps the colors of the Ajas are represented here as well. I don't know where that necessarily... Maybe that would come from Manetheren again, because they were kind of close to the White Tower, but it could just be that they're playing more into the Aes Sedai mythology and how much they actually shaped the world a little bit more than RJ did in the books, which, again, I don't have a problem with. All right, next, we've got everyone riding on horseback. Moraine up front, then it looks like Eggy right behind her. I think I saw on Twitter, Rhythma said this is the closest we're going to get to a recreation of the Eye of the World hardback. I'm probably in agreement with her on that one, because I just don't see them, taking the time to actually recreate the cover. So this might be it. Once we're past that scene, though, we get into some more epic memery here. We're now into where Egwene gets pushed off the cliff from a different perspective, but this is still kind of funny to think that Madeline Madden was actually pushed off this cliff into a fairly cold river. It's not something we haven't seen before, but it is from a different perspective. This was clearly... I don't know if they ever thought this camera angle was going to necessarily be usable or not, because it's a very different one from what we had in the trailer. All right, further on, I believe this is either Terran Ferry or one of the villages that Rand and Matt stop at when they're separated from folks, because this looks like the place where they get chased at night. So yeah, no telling. Wait and see. Waffo, or watch and find out. We got another scene of the group on horseback, Moraine leading the way, and then that fades into the Wheel of Time logo. So I know I'm going kind of fast here. My camera is literally about to die. It's at 2%, and it is now 2 2 a.m. my time. I'm very tired. If you've stuck with me through this, what is most likely my worst one of these because I am so tired, please go ahead, like the video if you like it, dislike it if you didn't. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more Wheel of Time content from me. Don't forget to ring the bell. If you want to support the channel directly, head over to my Patreon page. My lowest here is only $1. I want to call out my newest patron, Alina Official. Thank you so much for subscribing to the Patreon. It really helps out a lot. I also want to go ahead and call out my high tier patrons, Unraveling the Pattern and Darish Sadai. Thank you so much for your support as always. And remember, your viewership is more than enough for me. Honestly, I feel a surge of pride every time one of my videos passes even 500 views on YouTube. It's astounding. So I thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.